Good evening.
こんばんは。
Bennett-Kuroda Show です。
そうですね。Bennett-Kuroda Show. Once again, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Right on time.
毎週火曜日、夜8時からサムさんと一緒にやっております。Bennett-Kuroda Show のお時間でございます。
はい。大輔、今日はどうしようか。
なんか料理についてちょっと
料理。
喋るっていうのはどうでしょうか。
はい。Cooking. We're going to talk about cooking tonight. Yeah, that's our theme for the night.
はい。
Because of course, now with COVID and everybody's home, people are cooking more than ever.
なんかね、このコロナの時期で皆さんお家で過ごそうということで、なんか料理してる人が結構増えてるっていう風に聞きましたけど、なんかサムさんこの間言ってたのはさ、なんかクッキーとかデザートとかなんかそういうのお菓子とかさ作ってる男性が増えたっていう話を言ってましたよね。
作ってる。はい。Yeah, my friend Dale Walker. He's a great musician too, and he's been cooking up a lot of cookies and breads and snacks and stuff, and a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are getting into baking.
なるほど。その、パンを焼くっていうのみんなハマってんだね。
ね、パンはね、すごいね。
すごいよね。
Yeah. Sourdough bread. すごい人気です。
何それ？
Sourdough.
Sourdough.
Sourdough. Sourdough is a kind of bread that uses they create a fermentation in the it's like a culture. It's like yogurt or kefir, that kind of thing, where you get the bacteria going. You have a jar of your culture. It's called culture, and you add that to the bread, and you get a kind of bread which has a bit of a sour taste. They call it sourdough.
へー、なるほど。
Yeah, that's sourdough bread.
なんかヨーグルトみたいななんか菌を混ぜて作るやつっぽいですね。ちょっと私は詳しいことわからないので、見てる方、日本語でなんかこれのことだよっていうのあったらぜひ教えてください。
Well, in Japanese cooking, you get the kind of fermentation, of course, like with nuka.
はい。発酵系ですね。はい、ぬか。はい。
発酵系。
発酵。
Interesting. Now, what does that mean?
発酵が多分ぬかとか味噌とか。
So fermentation.
Fermentation のことだと思います。
発酵。
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 そうです。
Not to be confused with 箱 box.
箱、そうだね。箱ではないですね。
箱ではない
ですね。
箱。
はい。
Now there you go. That's a good Japanese lesson for all of you people studying Japanese. It's a very subtle difference, in the sound.
そうね。ボックスの箱と。
ボックスの箱と。
なんだっけ
？fermentation
の発酵。
So that's
カタカナじゃない、ひらがなで書くと発酵ですね。があります。
そう。はい。発酵。So it's a long O too, huh?
そうだね。
Okay. Yeah.
O です。
Yeah. So, but that's a big difference with Japanese, where you get that little. It's if you write it, it's a small tsu.
そうね。
Right? So it's not 発酵, it's 発酵。
発酵。そう。はい。O の方です。
Yeah. Long O and that little. Yeah. Like you get that also with words like 酸っぱい。
酸っぱいとかね。
sour, right? 酸っぱい. You gotta kind of wait a second before you make that ぱい. You got 酸っぱい.
そうです。
Yeah.
ちなみにサムさん、今日は何を飲んでますか？
今日はお湯割り。
はい。私もお湯割りです。
お湯割り。
皆さん乾杯。
乾杯。I think we talked on our drinking show a little bit a few weeks ago, back when we were still in the same room. We had a drinking show and we talked about お湯割り。
そうね。何週間か前。何回かのベネット・クローダショー前で、我々がまだ一緒の部屋でライブ配信やってた時に、テーマが ドリンキングっていうテーマでね、お湯割りにハマってますよっていう話をね、
That's right. That's
してま
right.
した。
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we were talking about drinking, and we kind of discovered Oyuwari at that time.
そうそうそ
Kind of together. It's been like that wasn't. We didn't really know so much about Oyuwari.
う。Right.
Yeah.
うん。
Now it's become one of my winter favorites.
Me too.
Yeah, man. Oyuwari's great.
すごくいいね。
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Oyuwari is just hot water. Oyu means hot water, or maybe boiling water, really hot. Oyu, and it's mixed with shochu.
そうです。
Yeah, shochu, made from potatoes or wheat, or sometimes sugar cane.
うんうん、そうですね。沖縄の泡盛とか、
Okinawa no
はい、
ne.
米もありますね。ライスも
Kome
あります、
with
ね。
rice, yeah. So you can use rice, but it seems like the most common ones are potato and wheat, right?
そうだね。
Yeah.
うん。特に我々ポテトの焼酎、お気に入りですね。
It's I think mostly my favorite is potato. Potato.
いいね。
But I'll drink whatever's around.
まあどっちにしろ身近にあるものを、はい、何でも飲みます。
Nandemuyo. So yeah, today we're not talking about drinking though. We're talking about cooking.
そうです。今日のテーマはクッキングでございます。
お料理でございます。
皆さんなんかこのお家で過ごしている間になんかおすすめのなんかレシピかなんかありましたらぜひコメント、はい、教えてください。試してみたいです。
Absolutely. If you out there in internet land who are watching, the thousands of you who are watching at this moment,
そうね。
drop us a comment and tell us what you like to cook. Send us a recipe. I'd like to talk a little bit about the tools for cooking. You know,
なるほど。
the things that I like to use for cooking.
はい。
And in just the most recent years, I've discovered some very, very good, pots and pans and different kind of things for cooking in. And I've found that some of these things make a huge difference in my cooking and in my family's cooking.
なるほど。なんかここ最近何年かで発見したお気に入りのこの料理のなんか道具があるみたいで、サムさんがちょっとそれ紹介してくれるみたいですよ。
Yeah, that's right. So I brought along some things to show everybody.
何ですか？どんなまず1個。
First,
はい。
this has become very, very important in our house for cooking. チャラーン。
何それ？
チャラーン。
なんかお弁当箱みたいな感じだけど。
お弁当箱ね。It looks like a bento box, but it's very heavy. You don't want to take your bento in this thing to the park. This thing weighs like it's like a brick.
なんかすごい重たいやつらしい。何？
It's very heavy. It's very heavy. It's called a Dutch oven.
ダッチオーブン。
Dutch oven. But look at it. It's very, like you say, it looks like a bento box. Bento bako みたいね。
ダッチオーブンって大きいよね。
That's right. They usually are bigger pots, because they're usually made for people with a big oven. But of course, here in Japan, very few of us have a big oven.
そうだね。普通ダッチオーブンってすごく大きくて、でオーブンがある家でさ使うじゃない。あとはキャンプの時とかに使うじゃない。
Exactly. Yeah.
でもそんなオーブン大きいのなかなか日本にはないし。
That's
という
right.
ことでなんかちっちゃいバージョンですかそれは。
That's right. It's a very small version. So what it is, it's got a top. Let me take the top off.
おお、なんか。
Oh, there's the top.
おお。
You see? And there's the oven. Now, you see, it's pretty shallow. But the reason for that, it's an unusual shape, but of course the reason for that is that this Dutch oven will fit in the typical fish grill of the typical stove in a typical Tokyo apartment.
なるほど。 このサイズになってる理由は魚焼きグリルで使えるように、このサイズになってるみたいです。いいね、それ。
Yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. And so it looks small, but it's surprising how much you can actually get into here. For example, we've started doing a lot of grilling of vegetables.
なるほど、野菜をね、それで
Yes.
やるわけだ。
Yes. So like, you slice up some nasu, some eggplant, you chop up some broccoli,
ブロッコリーと
cauliflower,
か、カリフラワー、はい。
cauliflower, anything, carrots, onions, whole cloves of garlic.
いいね。
Yeah, man. And just, for example, it's so easy and it's so delicious that it makes you almost not want to eat any other vegetables but roasted vegetables in a Dutch oven because they're just so damn good. You know what I mean?
へえ。
Yeah, they're just so good. So like what we usually do is we take a Dutch oven like this, maybe just brush on a little bit of olive oil
そうだね、オリーブオイルをちょっとこう塗って、
on the bottom,
うん。
maybe sprinkle in some herbs or some salt and mix it up, mix that
Hi, hi,
oil up,
ちょっとハーブとかね、塩をそのオイルとちょっと混ぜる感じで。
Yeah, mix
Hi.
it up a little bit. Then put in your vegetables, maybe, run them around just a little bit so they all get some salt and some oil on them,
う
like-
ん。野菜もね入れて、ちょっとそのオイルちゃんと周りにこうまぶすような感じでミックスするんだ。
right? Get them in there, put the lid on. And of course, the lid is so heavy and the pot is so heavy and it's cast iron, it's called cast iron.
なるほど。
You get that lid on and it's really very tight.
もうぴったり重たいからもうぴったりもうはまるんだね、蓋が。
Yeah, so get that into your fish grill.
で、
Actually,
魚焼きグリルに入れます。
sakanayaki grill. 普通のJapanese grill. ね。
そうだね。
In every home almost has the fish grill, right? You may not have a big oven, but you have a fish grill.
そうです。はい。
So and actually, meat, of course, not just vegetables.
あ、もちろん肉も
Yeah, meat, fish. Sometimes we do fish in it.
魚も。
Sakanamo, especially fish if you don't want it to get a little too dried out,
あ
because
あ、なるほど。
it keeps so much moisture, keeps so much
そうね。
water,
ちょっと蒸すみたいな感じだからね。密閉して、だから魚とかきっとふっくらして美味しいんじゃない？いいなそれ。
いいよこれすごいいいよ。
どうぞ。
No, I'm just going to say this is one of the things that has completely changed our diet. I mean, we eat so many of our vegetables we just cook like this.
なるほど。
So, of course, we still do stir fry Chinese style in a wok or something, but we almost never boil any vegetables anymore. Unless maybe we're making a ohitashi with the, greens or something, or maybe sauteed spinach with garlic, But basically, we've been doing most vegetables in this.
なるほど。も
And it's so good.
う野菜をもうこれで調理するっていうのがサムさん家ではもう流行ってて、でもこれでしか野菜食べたくないぐらいドハマりしてるみたいです。コメントいただきまして、
Chiba Stud.
チーバスター、
Chiba Stud. 誰かな Chiba Stud. Who is the Chiba Stud?
こんばんは。
こんばんは。
Or good evening or
No, he's in Chiba, I assume, and I assume it's a he because stud usually means a he. So it's a Chiba Stud.
So Chiba guy.
Yeah, Chiba guy.
Good evening.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, Dutch oven. So we are huge believers in the Dutch oven. So that's one item I recommend to everybody.
へ
Now,
え、いいな。
the thing is, I don't know how easy it is to get. My wife ordered this about a year and a half or 2 years ago, maybe. And she was telling me recently that she she, you know, 'cause she's always kind of looking at stuff like that, you know, on the internet. She said she couldn't find it anymore. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if you can find it. You just really got to look around, you know. And of course, for those people watching in America or Europe or something, they usually have a much larger oven.
そうだね。こ
So
れ
that-
日本の話ですからね。
Yeah. This is for people in Japan.
必要なのは、もちろん海外のね、お家では大きいオーブンみんな持ってますから、余裕でフルサイズのダッチオーブン使えますけどね。日本はちょっと難しいですよね。
Exactly.
今キャンプも流行ってるじゃないですか、日本で。すごくね、キャンプ流行ってるみたいで、YouTube で結構自分もね、そのキャンプしてるやつ見るんだけど、ダッチオーブン使ってますね。
Yeah. So you put your Dutch oven straight onto the fire in a camp, right?
そうそう。で、
Yeah, just let it cook.
なんだっけ、なんだっけ、炭ってチャコールじゃなくて、なんだっけ。
Sumite, not charcoal?
チャコールね。
Charcoal かな？
を、
like
on
charcoal
top とかね。
Okay. So you kind of bury it in hot charcoal.
そうそうそう。
Okay,
ボト
yeah,
ムもそうだけど、pick up the pieces and
Put them
put
on
it on top で。
Exactly. That's the idea of an oven.
いいよね。
Heat all around. So you can do that in a camp.
そう。
Now, Daisuke, did you ever go camping? Did you do much camping ever?
Yeah, not really. でも、I love to. すごくね、興味はあります。
Yeah, you're interested. Yeah, so am I. I'm interested. You got to have the right equipment, though. You know, you got to have all the sleeping bags and the
そうなの。
tent. You know,
道具が大事なんですよね。道具集めるのが難しい。
そう
大変。道具、その tools がね。
Yeah.
そう、寝袋と、あと、その。
ちょっと待って。寝袋は何？
寝袋です。
寝袋。そう、sleeping bag.
そう。
Yeah, okay. 寝袋。
寝袋必要でしょ？
Yeah.
テント必要でしょ？
Tent.
あとは、その、ファイヤーピットみたいな、なんかその、ね、ファイヤーの、なんか、なんていうの？
Something like a barbecue to make the
そう、バーベキューキットみたいなや
do
つ
the
ね。
fire in, yeah.
必要でしょ？
Yeah.
ね。
Actually, if you want to do it really the rough way, like the old days, you'd go out and just kind of dig a hole. You dig a little hole, you know, in the dirt, and put your stuff in there. Although I imagine there's not too many places you can even do that, like legally.
In Japan, we have to go to the camp place, and they have a rule to, make a fire とかのやつありますから、そうですね。
Yeah.
お、たくさんコメントいただいてますけど、レックス。
そう。
Lex Peace.
Lex Peace. Lex is peace as usual. Hey.
As usual. Good evening. で、T さん。
T. She says, "Can I grill my foot on that?" Good. You're insane. You're just insane. Your foot.
なんでよ。
What the hell?
なんで足をそこで焼くのよ。なんかのそれもうスペシャルトレーニングじゃない？なんかわかんない。
Yeah, I guess like one of those kind of things where you learn to endure extreme pain or something. You put your foot on a hot Dutch oven. Is that some kind of Indian thing? Is that some kind of holy man of India type thing?
なんかスペシャルトレーニング to the ね、rudder のやつ the process で
Yeah. Walking on glass, all that, all that kind of stuff.
Oh God.
Oh man, yeah, we got a lot of comments. Listen, my daughter wrote us in Japanese here.
はい、まだありますよということで、魚焼き器用のダッチオーブンということで、検索してみてください。南部鉄だそうです。
so she's
アイロンがその南部鉄のやつですね。
Oh, okay. So she's saying that you can still find these kind of Dutch ovens in this size.
Yes, 7000円ぐらいだって。
7,000, yeah, 7,000 yen. Not cheap, but worth every yen.
そんなに安いものではないけども、これはもう買って損しないよと。お墨付きでございます、サムさんの。
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get a Dutch oven. I
And
recommend
I
it.
want to have, but the problem is, I don't have the grill.
I can't believe it.
そうなの。うちないのよ。
You don't have a grill?
そうなの。魚焼きグリルないんです、うち。
Dude, what kind of Japanese person are you, man? Are you sure you're actually Japanese?
Yes, I am.
What
but-
the hell?
Well, that's not my problem. You know, this house just don't have it.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
Your apartment building, they just didn't put them in, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, maybe you're gonna have to get some kind of little oven, man.
Yeah.
Like a
Well,
toast.
can I use コンロ使える？カセットコンロ。
You could you mean like those kind of flame
そう、鍋とかやるやつ。
nabe.
ガスの。
Yeah, you could, but here's the thing. I mean, of course you can. You can do that. But of course, like you said before, the whole thing about the idea of an oven is there's heat all around.
そうだよね。
Yeah.
その鍋自体を
On the
もう
top.
全体的にこう温めるっていうかそのグリルするやり方だからいいんだよね、きっとね。
On the top, on the bottom.
そうだ
That's what you
ね。
I think that's what you need to make the real, roasted stuff in a Dutch oven.
Right.
Yeah. That's it. You got to find a new apartment, man.
そうだね。なんかサムさんのお家にさこの間遊びに行ったんですよ、私。
Yeah, we had you over.
そうでクスクスをその時サムさんが作ってくれて
couscous ね。はい。
ね。で初めてだったと思うんだよね。なんかで食べたことあったと思うけどそんなに記憶なくて、でサムさんは結構クスクス食べるよっていうことでクスクス作ってもらって紹介してもらって、でその時も使ってたそれダッチオーブン。
Yes. Yeah, I think for my couscous sauce, it was full of vegetables, if you remember. So, as a matter of fact, I used the Dutch oven for the nasu, for the eggplant, and I used the Dutch oven to do the chicken.
あ、チキンも
Yeah, I
チ
cooked
キ
the
ン美味しか
chicken.
ったよ。
美味しかったね。
うん
'Cause
やっ
it
ぱ
keeps a lot of moisture, you know.
そうやっぱねしっとりしててお肉がやっぱ結構パサパサになるじゃん。クスクスみたいなパサパサみたいになるでしょ。
パサパサ。はい。
ね。そうなんか little dry の感じでじゃん。
Yeah, yeah.
でもサムさんのあの時のチキンはすごくジューシーでした。
Juicy.
うん。
We like juicy, man.
美味しかったよ。
So Chiba Stud says, Sam and Daisuke, you are the coolest.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Oh yeah, baby. We're so cool. Totally, man.
So by the way, we have a tip jar and on the screen.
Oh yeah. That's our new thing, man.
Yeah.
You can look down at the bottom of the screen. You see your kind donation to our tip jar is most welcome.
はい、投げ銭なんですけども、ペ
投げ
イパ
銭ね
ルはこちらで、ペイペイはこちらなんですけども、
PayPal, PayPay.
はい、ペイパルは試したんですよ。この QR 読んで、でちゃんとこうサムさんのペイパルのアカウントに行くんだけど、ペイペイこれ初めてなので分かってなくて、
まだわかんないね。
そううまく機能してんのかどうか分かんないです。とりあえず多分こんな感じだろうなと思って、QR コードを作って貼ってますけど、こっちはペイペイはちょっとうまくいくか分かんないです。こっちは、
That's right.
ペイパルは多分大丈夫です。はい、
Yeah. So what Daisuke is saying for those of you who don't speak Japanese is that we're not sure about the PayPay because we're not sure if that QR code works yet. We'll find out next week for sure. But we are sure that the PayPal works. And so if you want to kick in a little money to us, oh my goodness, we'd just be so thrilled. We just, oh my God, it would just make my day. And you don't have to put a lot in, just a little bit, just to keep us going here, keep the shochu flowing, you know. So yeah, we got that little thing. That's a new thing, and we put some new photos up on the top. You see those? Those are from live shows of the past.
そうね、今回からデザインが少し変わりまして、はい、
Yeah,
下に、投げ銭用の、QR コードが貼ってあったり、そして上にはね、我々のライブの写真が少し入っております。
That's right. And you know, looking at those pictures, those are 4 venues that, you know, we love.
そうだね、この上に載ってる4つの写真はですね、4箇所我々が、お気に入りというかね、すごくお世話になってた場所ですよね。それぞれどこですか、サムさん。
Well, you know, the one that's directly over you, Daisuke, there's 2 over you. The one to the left of the screen at the top is Cheshme.
はい、こちらチェシュメでございます。
Yeah, yeah, straight up is Cheshme over on the left side, and that was from at least a couple of years ago. And then the one directly above you, next to that is, of course, What the Dickens.
恵比寿ワット・ザ・ディッキンスでございます。
What the Dickens でございます。And that was from our last show for our record release.
あ、そっか。去年の11月に我々 As Luck Would Have It っていうアルバムをリリースしまして、そのリリースライブの時の写真みたいですね。
Yeah, yeah, that was from that. And then there's the one next to that above me is from that little French restaurant where we love to play called the Grand Arbre.
はい、松陰神社前、世田谷のね、
Yeah.
世田谷線っていうローカルのさ、可愛い電車に乗って、下高井戸から三軒茶屋をつないでるんですけども、その中の松陰神社前徒歩10歩ぐらいの、とこにあるフレンチレストラン。これはね、カタカナでゴンアンブルだったと思います。はい。
そっか。Yeah.
はい。
So yeah, that little place, it's a charming little place. And then finally over the other one above me is our dear old Fuglin in Asakusa, where we were doing Tokyo Song Celebration once a month for a whole year until COVID shut it down.
そうね、一番奥のサムさんの上にあるやつはね、浅草フーグレンで我々が毎月やってたイベント、東京ソングセレブレーションをやってた浅草フーグレンカフェでございます。
That's right, that's right. So yeah, we got some new pictures up there. Woohoo! Just to remind everybody that we don't just sit around on the internet talking about cooking. We actually are a band.
はい、そうです。
And we used to play live shows, you know.
そうです。はい、今こうやってね、我々のトークショーみたいな感じのライブ配信やってますけども、一応我々はバンドで、ちゃんと毎月ライブとかね普通にやってたんだけども、もうそんなことできないので、一応お忘れなくということで我々はバンドですよという、アピールでございます。
So we don't forget. We don't forget. So yeah, you know what? Speaking of which, why don't we play a video now? Let's play some music for the folks from our latest show.
Sure. So you want to introduce?
Yeah. I grabbed the footage from my little Sony camera and from Daisuke's little Sony camera. We took 2 different angles for the last show we did at What the Dickens, which was the record release gig back on November 12 of last year, November 12, 2020. And so I put 3 little videos together, and we get at least a couple of different camera angles. So you don't get too bored, you know. You see it from here, and then you see it from here. Woo! And then you see it from here. Oh! And then you're back over here. It's awesome. Yeah.
じゃあ、去年のリリースライブ What the Dickens でやった時の、チキン&ワインという曲ですね。 CD に入っております。じゃあ聴いてもらいましょう。どうぞ。
Southland, the boll weevils fly. Mr. Dixon, they went and drew a little line. There's a crossing on it, they sit beside the river with some chicken and wine, chicken and South of Tuscaloosa, north of Mobile, I met a sharecropper's daughter. She lost her wagon wheel. She said, won't you help me, mister, carry my corn to town? And then we go and spend some money soon as the sun goes down. Call Mr. Mason, Mr. Dixon, they went and drew a line. There's a crossing on it, sit beside the river with some chicken and wine, chicken and wine. I guess there must be banjos playing all through the night, and butter melting on the biscuits, yeah, in the morning light. This dusty little country road will take you to my juke joint shack. We can put everything we own in a gunny sack. Hey, for Biloxi, I know a gambler over there. He loaned me $50. I know he's got it to spare. Honey, you can get a new dress. I'll get a bottle or two. Beneath the Mississippi moonlight, we'll have a sweet rendezvous. Come Mr. Mason and Mr. Dixon, they went and drew a little line. There's a crossing on it, sit beside the river with some chicken and wine, chicken and wine, chicken and wine. Thank you so much. Chicken and wine.
へいへい。
Ho ho.
さあコメントいただいておりまして、
Oh, some comments came in.
ルーラさん値上がりしてました。9000円ぐらいになっております。はい、ダッチオーブンですね。魚焼きグリルのダッチオーブン、今9000円ぐらいに値上がりしているみたいです。
ちょっと高いね。
そうね。
9,000 yen. For those of you just tuning in, we're talking about the Dutch oven, which fits into a Japanese fish grill.
はい。
So my daughter says they're going for about 9,000 yen. Now that seems like a lot of money.
ちょっとね、高いね。
But you have to remember, this thing is made out of cast iron. It will last forever. You can give it to your children. Your children can give it to their children. I'm
もう
not
代々こう
I'm
受け
not
継いでいけると。
Yeah,
そうね
I'm not lying.
でもさ、
This thing-
それさ、なんか you need to なんか oil を
Yes.
の
Yeah.
やつでね、you have to take care なん
Sure.
か every time でしょ。
Sure, sure. Yeah. But you know, it's really not a big deal. I mean, people say, oh, it's so much trouble to take care of a cast iron pot. But you know, as soon as it's done, you wash it out with water. You all you gotta do is drop a couple of drops of oil on it and, you know, rub it in, and that's it. It's not like a big deal. So everybody that's always talking about, oh, it's too much trouble. It's like, oh, you know, okay, so go buy some Teflon pan once a year, and then it craps out, and you throw it away, and you got to buy another one.
Right.
And it's not good for you anyway, that Teflon. So anyway, that's my bit on cast iron. So cast iron. Speaking of cast iron, I got one more thing,
はい
and this is not so exotic. It's just a cast iron frying pan, and this is a very small one. I just brought the small one because my other ones are just too heavy to carry in here and show you. But you know, your basic cast iron pan, this is made by a very famous company called Lodge.
large
Lodge. You know, it's one of the cast iron pan
あそうなんだ有名なブランドのやつ
Lodge, right? I think it's the most famous brand. So, you know, all I can say, and probably most people who already know this, is that cast iron is just great. You know, it's just a great thing to cook in. It's good for you.
やっぱこうちゃんとしたこう鉄のやつがとにかくいいんだと、まあ管理が難しいんじゃないかなっていうのはありますけどね。なんかオイルをこう全体でこうやってで焼き入れてとかいろいろありますからね。でもサムさんが言うにはそんなに問題じゃないよ。そんな大変じゃないよ。
No big deal.
はい。で、
No big deal.
T さん、ひろしさん、
T さん。
Medieval
torture.
torture 足を焼く話ですね。
Oh yeah. That was about the foot thing. She said, can I grill my foot on that Dutch
そう
oven?
ね。
I was like, what is that? Some kind of Indian holy stuff? No, she says it's just medieval torture. Yeah. Now we know T is not only a great singer, but she's into medieval torture. Nice. Nice, T.
いやいやいや。これ多分やったら捕まると思いますね。はい。
Hey, by the way, no, speaking of T, let me just say, speaking of T, you know, those of you who tuned in to our show last week, you would have seen T, who was our featured artist on Tokyo Song Celebration evening, and her musical partner, Hiroshi Tokieda, they were our guests, and that was just a real pleasure. And we talked about her new record and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. T.
Yeah, go back to Tokyo Song Celebration, Bennett-Kuroda Show number 13. Last episode was Tokyo Song Celebration online, and our first guest was T. で、そうなんですよ。T さんと、ひろしさんの、インタビューをね、
Right.
やりました。そう。
やりました。
はい。
And on that subject, just briefly, next month, February, the second Tuesday in February, we will have another guest artist who we're featuring, who goes by the name of Johnny Barefoot.
はい、来月の2週目の火曜日の、東京ソングセレブレーションでは、ジョニー・ベアフットさん、シンガーソングライターのね、がゲストで参加してくれます。
Yeah. So looking forward to having Johnny here.
ね、久しぶりだよね。
So Chiba Stud chimed in once again. Oh, first of all, though, we got Rob Yellen. Rob from Kyoto.
あ、ロブさん、こんばんは。
Hey, こんばんは、ロブさん。
Howdy,
Yeah,
y'all.
Howdy, y'all. What
Howdy.
do you... He's gone all cowboy on us here. Howdy, y'all.
なんかアメリカのあれだよね、この掛け声みたいな感じだよね。はいみたいなやつだよね。
Howdy.
サウスのやつでしょ、これ。
何これ?
Southern style.
Yeah. Southern style, sure. It's kind of Southern style, a kind of cowboy style, you know. Howdy, partner. You getting much rain up in Texas these days? No, it's dry as a bone. That kind of thing. So, yeah. And then finally, Chiba Stud says, masquerading as a Japanese. I think I know what he means by that. I think that was back when I told you weren't really Japanese because you don't have a Dutch oven. Or no, you don't have a fish grill.
ああ、はい。
I think maybe that's what he means. I said, Daisuke, you must not be Japanese. You don't have a fish grill, man. So I think that's why Chiba Stud said that. Masquerading as a Japanese? I don't know, man. Maybe Daisuke's not really Japanese. Although he speaks Japanese very well.
そうね。はい。
I have to say.
I look like a Korean or Chinese, like I've got the type of face, it's not really but I'm Japanese, and I gotta show you this is our record, right?
Oh, yeah.
And inside we
Inside.
got
Ta-da! Oh, there he is. Now look at that.
Chinese mafia みたいでしょ。
Yeah, he looks like a Chinese gangster. I'm sorry.
なんかもうなんだマカウかなんかのさカジノでさなんかもうすごい悪いことしてそうな感じするじゃん。
Oh yeah, he's tough guy, man. You don't want to run into him when you stepped out of a Macau casino at midnight. He's on the corner,
ね。
giving you a look. Oh man, dangerous.
いやーもうこの衣装とさ帽子をサムさんが持ってきてさジャケットのやつで使うぞっつってさとりあえずこれ着ろっつってでこれかぶれっつってやったんだけど、いやーチャイニーズマフィアみたいじゃんっつってさ。
Yeah. Now you do have that kind of face. You definitely got that kind of face. That kind of, you could be Korean, you could be Chinese very easily. We were saying the same thing about Hiroshi just
そう
the
ね、
other.
ヒロシさんともそういう話をこの間してましたね。なんか我々はそのなんていうか大陸系の顔してるよねっつって。
大陸系。
なんつうの。
どういう意味かな。
大陸ってチャイニーズキャラクターでビッグランドって書くのね。だからそのなんかメインランドチャイナのなんつうの。
Okay, like Mongolia or
そうそう
something.
そうそう。
Yeah.
モンゴリアのそうそうそっち系のタイプのやつ。
So that's the meaning. 大陸系。
大陸系ってまあ
Interesting.
そうねなんか。
So it's that kind of face.
Yeah.
Almost like a Mongolian face, like a Chinese face.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. You see, friends, you get a lot of pan-cultural information on this show.
今日のテーマは一応料理ですから。
料理。
そう。
Cooking, yeah.
そう
cooking.
料理の話。そしてさ、こちら。
Oh, what, you get a new shaker, man? You doing percussion now?
これね。ディルウィードって言って。
Oh, you got your dill.
はい。
That's a lot, man.
そうこれね。
That is a lot of dill.
これ売ってないのよ。どこにも。でネットで私買ったんですけど、これがまたすごいもう、
いい匂いでしょ。
めっちゃいい。これね、この間サムさん家に、私がお邪魔した時にね、サムさんが出してくれたのがヨーグルトを使ったサワークリームっていうのを、出してくれまして、でそれがすごい美味しかったわけで、サムさんの奥さんがいやサワークリームはカロリーがすごく多いからそんなにいっぱい食べれないでしょっていうことで、ヨーグルトでやるといいよっていうのを教えてくれたんですよ。
That's right. That's what we do. Yeah, we take a little yogurt, buy some typical yogurt from the store. You get your coffee filter, like a drip coffee filter. You put that paper filter in, you dump the yogurt in, and let it sit there for an hour or two, and let the excess water drain out of the yogurt. So it gets pretty thick, as thick as like sour cream. You got instant dip, and then you add, your dill.
あと何あと what else you put it in?
We usually just use dill and Jane's crazy salt.
クレイジーソルトですね。
Yeah. They call it here in Japan. They call it Jane's crazy salt.
クレイジーソルトです。はい。
Yeah.
ヨーグルトをコーヒーのフィルターでこうなんていうのこすって言わないけどろ過するっていうの水分を全部落とすんですね。でサムさんは今 1,2 時間って言ってたけども実際自分は 3、4時間やってます。
はい。Yeah, well, the longer you do it,
うん。
the thicker it gets.
そうするとやっぱ水分がどんどんこう落ちていくので、かなりこう硬くなっていくのね、ヨーグルトの部分が。でそこに、クレイジーソルト入れて、でこの一番重要かもしれないこのディルウィード、ディルを入れるんですよ。
Yeah.
これがね、要するにサワークリームのスメルでフレーバーだよね。
Yeah,
要するにこれが。
Yeah.
でクレイジーソルト入れて、で最近私はねちょっとバジルやって、
バジル。
でちょっとだけタイムもやる。
タイム。
ちょっとだけ。でもほとんどこれアロット。
Yeah.
はい。
Well, I've got to show us that label again, man, because it says Ueno on it, right?
そうなんですよ。
It's from a company in Ueno?
そうなんです。これねたまたまなんだけど、ネットで探して、売ってるって言って買ったのね。でも、これ上野なんですよ。で住所もね、上野の住所なんで、サムさん家から多分ね近いんじゃない？
I'm sure it's close. I mean, if it's in Ueno, then it's close to my house, basically.
これ超重要。
Gotta go.
だって
大津屋、上野大津屋。
上野大津屋。はい。I went to a lot of grocery store ね。
You can't find it.
Supermarket。でももうダメ。もう3とか4とか I went で never find it.
Yeah, somehow it's not a big thing in Japan. You go to the spices and the herbs and you just can't find dill. I can't find it in my neighborhood at all. Sometimes I buy it at a place like Seijo Ishii.
はい。
But then you get a tiny little bottle and it's too expensive, that.
So nice.
I tell you what, you just put some of that in an envelope and mail it over to my house, please. Please.
このまま郵送しろっつってこれ封筒に入れて。
I'll be waiting for it.
いやもうサムさんこれ別にチャリですぐ行けるでしょ。
そう。チャリで。I can go on my bicycle.
ね。まあ今日は一応料理っていうことでテーマ喋ってますけども、私も料理すごく好きで、トマトソースをね作り置きしてるんですよ。
Yeah. Your tomato sauce is killer, man.
そうすごい料理好きなんだけど、特にトマトソースは常に冷蔵庫にあるみたいな感じに自分はしてて、それでまあもちろんパスタやったりとか、あとはまあスープ、野菜スープにしたりとか、ミネストローネみたいな感じとかね。でパエヤとかもできるし、
Sweet.
なんかねすごく便利なんで、トマトソース作り置きしてるんだけど、そこで自分が必ずこれでやりますっていうのがねこちら。
Oh yeah, Soleone. That's a good brand. Soleone.
はい。これでやります。
Italian tomato pulp. Polpa di pomodoro. Soleone.
Marnoce.
Marnoce.
関係ないです。丸の内関係ないです。
You take the Marnoce line and buy the Soleone. Polpa di pomodoro.
全然関係ないです。丸の内はすいません。これを使います。
Yeah, that's good. That's a good brand. Yeah, man. Well, I think you've got a cool system. You explained to me once where you make a tomato base and just keep that in a large amount in the fridge and use it for different things, like you said, minestrone, red sauce, pasta. You mentioned paella. That's impressive, man. See, I've been afraid to do paella. I feel like it's something mystical about paella. I don't know if I could really do it, But I guess it's possible, right? I gotta try.
全然なんかmaybe I'm not the the special paella thing, but なんか basically なんかねライスをパンでクックして。
Oh, I love it. ライスでパンでクックして。
そう。で、マイトメイトソースを入れて、でなんかsometimes なんつうのフィッシュのやつとかねまあ sometimes I use チキンもやるし、なんかね そんな難しくないよね。
It's not too complicated.
うんうん。
I'm gonna try it, man. I've always been a little afraid of paella somehow. I don't know why.
うん、そんな
Oh, I
難しくない。
couldn't do that. Yeah.
難しくないよ。
Well, I'll tell you what. There's another special pot that we've started using in the
お、まだある。
in the last year or so. And this has also revolutionized the cooking around here because it just makes such tasty miso shiru
お
and such a tasty nikujaga
お
and a stew and that kind of thing. And what it is an earthenware pot called a donabe.
土鍋。
Donabe. I'll
な
show
るほ
you.
ど。ちょっと見して。何？
Ta-da!
ああ、土鍋ですね。
Donabe.
土鍋ですね。はい。
Ta-da!
うん、土鍋です。
It looks like something like from 1,000 years ago, right?
まあ確かにちょっとこう、
It looks kind of ancient or something.
縄文土器みたいな雰囲気ありますけど。
Did you? Looks like it's from the Jomon or something. Like they dug it out of a archaeological pit from 2,000 years ago. So that's the top, you know. And the pot is very thick.
なるほど。かなり分厚いやつ。あ、本当だ。
Yeah, you see? It's really thick.
分厚いね。
Yeah, it's really solid. And you know, it just goes directly on the flame.
はい。直火でいきます。はい。
And the inside is glazed. Well, I don't know how you say that in Japanese. In English, we say glazed.
なんか中はツルツルしてるよってことだと思うよ。
Suru-suru, you know? And the bottom is not glazed. It's just like, you know, raw, like
なるほど。外側はまあまあ。
pottery, you know.
はい。
It's glazed up until that line, you know.
はいはいはいはい。
So anyway, you wouldn't think that. I mean, it looks simple enough. It's just a clay pot, you know.
なんか別に普通の鍋じゃないのって感じするけど、なんかそれだって我々冬は鍋よくやるじゃん。
Yeah, but
なんか違うのそれは。
I tell you, man, you make miso shiru in this miso soup or a stew, you know, and somehow I just gotta say, it just tastes better, man. It just tastes better than cooking it in a typical metal, you know, pan. I don't know why that is.
なぜかわかんないけど、これで味噌汁とか肉じゃがとか、あとはシチューとかそういうやつ作ると
Yeah.
めちゃくちゃうまいらしい。
Oh yeah, so
な
good.
んだろう。米もそれで炊いたら絶対美味しいと思うよ。
That's right. A lot of people cook rice in these things. And that we have not done that because we have another thing we cook rice in.
あ、そっか。
Yeah, but apparently cooking rice in a donabe is also
そう。
fantastic. And the
すごく
rice
美味しい。
is going to taste better. It
そうなん
just
です。
tastes better.
はい。
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny, you know, you think, well, cooking, yeah, you do it in this pot or that pot, it shouldn't make a difference. But it actually really does make a difference, you know.
やっぱ道具が違うと味も確実に変わってくるわけだね。
Yeah, yeah. It's really amazing. The other thing about that pot, the donabe, is that it will keep the miso shiru, you know, the miso soup, keep it really nice and hot for a long time. So it really keeps the heat.
なるほど。
Yeah. So, you know, we'll make a big pot of miso shiru, and you want a second bowl, you know, not just one bowl. You're ready for a second bowl, and you go and get your second bowl. As long as you've kept it covered, you don't have to keep a fire under it or anything. You open it up, you scoop it out. It's still really hot.
なるほど。
Yeah. So it's just a great pot. I highly recommend the donabe.
なるほど。それ多分きっとさ、分厚いその thick がキーじゃない I think.
Yeah, I think it's got to be key. The thickness of it retains that heat.
土鍋は we can buy everywhere basically, but that much thick one is pretty hard to find, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
And
kind
like you said, the keep the, you know, hot は、多分 thick じゃないとできないかもね。
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's got to be thick like that. It really holds the heat.
うん。
So yeah, man, it's just amazing.
へ
Chiba Stud says, "Is it just me when you talk about food that it is somewhat erotica?"
なんでどうだろうな。どうだろう。
Yeah,
そんな
well,
感じす
you
る
know, I mean, food is a sensory pleasure.
うんうん。
Everybody, you know, and everybody can relate to eating food, and you know, there's certain similarities, I suppose, to
あるかな
erotica, food, erotic stuff.
なんか
We won't go too deep into
そうだ
that.
ね、そうだね。
Everybody can probably relate to that.
そうだね。
Yeah.
なんか、食べ物の話してるとちょっとエロいよねみたいなコメントが入ったんですけども、あんまりその辺は深く掘り下げないようにしようと思います。はい。まあ anyway 千葉スタッドさんありがとうございます。コメント。
Hey, you know, Chiba Stud, I hear that guy's a real stud. He knows about erotica.
なんか last time だっけlast エピソードじゃないかな、なんかコメントで映画のさ、なんだっけ、タンポポ
Yeah, we were talking about Tampopo.
ね、話してて、なんかその
The movie, yeah.
エッグヨークのなんか
Oh yeah, that was another mention of erotic, and that was like erotic and food.
そうだね。
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean that egg scene. Sure,
I've never seen that movie, so I don't know
yeah.
what you guys talking about. But
Oh, you got to see it. It's a great movie. It's really a lot of fun. Really good movie. Really good movie. So yeah, well, I mean, of course, there's also a long connection between erotica and food, you know. And again, we won't go too deep into it.
そう
Here.
だね、そうそう。あんまり深くは掘り下げませんけど
This
も。
is a family show. We got little children watching.
そうね。ファミリーショーだからこれは、ね。
Family, yeah, yeah.
そうそう。
Yeah, like famiresu.
ファミレスね。
Now, those of you who don't know about Japanese culture, what would you imagine famiresu means? Famiresu.
そうね。ファミレス。ファミレス。なんだろうね。
Famires. Family restaurant.
ファミリーレストランです。はい。
Your Japanese lesson for today. Famiresu.
ファミリーレストラン。デニーズみたいなやつね。
Denny's. Yeah, Denny's and Jonathan.
ジョナサン。
Jonathans.
ジョナサンあります。
And Saizeria.
サイゼリアですね。そうですね。サイゼリア安くていいですね。
Famiresu.
なん
Now
か
the
サイ
thing
ゼリアの社長かなんかがこの間すごいなんか怒ってたみたいですよ。
なぜ?
now なんか second だか third の kind of lockdown situation.
Yeah.
Right. で、a lot of places serve food or restaurant or drinking places. They have to stop.
Yeah, they got to close by 8 or so. Right?
そう、by 8。で、確か、also なんか government said なんか lunch time なんか not work or なんか something, you know, even the lunchtime they can't do or I don't know exactly what they say, but サイゼリアのオーナーかなんかがすごくなんか pissed off because
Is
of
that right?
Wow.
So he kind of made a statement about.
そうそう。
That's kind of unusual, you know, because mostly people in business people, you know, they don't want to make too much noise or too much controversy, you know, they want to be cool, especially when it involves the government and you know. But I guess he was just it must be hurting, you know, his what we say in English, the bottom line. That means just the money. You know, his money's going down, his bottom line is down. So yeah, sure. And that's, you know, God, you know, big restaurant chains and of course small independent restaurants. I mean, yeah.
ねえ、なんか、 居酒屋とか行きたいよね。
ね、居酒屋ね。I would love to go to some nice 居酒屋 and hang out or 焼肉 or something, man.
ね、なんか居酒屋ってさ、こう当たり前のように我々言ってたけどさ、ね、なんか it doesn't have to be special 居酒屋 places, you know, like I just want to go to any 居酒屋 place and
Yeah,
居
sure.
酒屋 has everything basically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Your
know.
fish, your vegetables,
So
your meat,
fresh
salad,
fresh fish,
Yeah.
sashimi or fried something or なんか basically everything is
行きた
there.
いな。
ね、居酒屋とかでご飯食べたいよ
Yeah,
ね。
and plenty of nice beer and, you
そう
know,
よ。
焼酎, maybe a hoppy. And,
ホッピー、
you know,
ホッピー知ってる。
I love hoppy, man.
ホッピーはもうスペシャリストじゃないとね、もうジャパニーズスペシャリストじゃないとホッピー知らないと思うよ。
Yeah, no, I have a friend who introduced me to hoppy and mixing, you know, a shochu with hoppy.
そ
Those of you who don't know, hoppy is actually, if you see the label and you're a native English speaker, you're going to think it says hoppy. Because Hoppy. So it looks like hoppy,
う。ホッピ
but
ー
it's pronounced hoppy.
ホッピーです。
Yeah, hoppy.
はい。
And it's just a kind of like a, yeah, it's
ソーダジュース、right?
yeah, it's like a soda. It's like it's almost like a Coca-Cola or something.
Yeah.
Actually, though, I gotta say, to me it tastes much better than like a Coca-Cola. I don't like to mix. I don't like Coca-Cola at all. In fact, I haven't drunk a Coca-Cola in like 30, 40 years, man.
Oh, really?
I just don't like it.
あ
But the Hopi it's got the right flavor to mix with Japanese, you know, shochu.
ね、皆さんもちろんホッピー知ってると思いますけども、basically, hoppy is soda, wheat soda, I think.
Yeah, I think it's from wheat.
で、
Yeah.
the idea is like they try to make us like cheap beer.
Yeah,
Try to pretend like beer.
exactly. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the shochu is like we can use like any like just cheapest shochu.
Yeah, just cheap liquor, cheap alcohol.
Yeah, and
Mix
then-
it with Hopi, it's going to be okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why it was invented in the first place. I think
I
like
think so. Yeah.
you know, shortly, maybe not so long after World War II,
Right.
the country had like no money
Yeah.
and nobody could afford like beer, you know. But people wanted to drink a malty alcoholic drink like beer or something. So
Right.
they invented like that Hopi made from wheat that they could mix with just any cheap shochu.
Yeah.
And you were going to have something almost like, you know, a rich alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though the country was poor and nobody had, you know, money and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
It's
and
good,
I like it. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah.
Yeah, Hopi is fun.
Yeah. And you know, like when we go to the izakaya place, they call naka.
Yes, naka is the liquor you put inside.
そう、焼酎のこと
They say naka. Yeah, yeah.
中で、外 outside を
外
ホッピ
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ー。そう、なんかホッピー is just like, you know, like a small little bottle and we get the glass and, you know, some amount of shochu and ice in it.
Ice, right?
And then
right,
we
right,
mix how much, you know, we want,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then we drink the hoppy, the mixed one. And still, ね、ホッピーは still left.
Still
So,
plenty of Hopi,
Yeah.
but you
So-
order more naka.
そう、中。
Yeah, yeah.
すみません、中ください。
Sumimasen, naka.
So that means you get another glass and with
Yeah.
just a shochu.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's a great tradition. And it's like everybody at the table at the izakaya can sort of you can be your own bartender, right?
right. Yeah.
You know, you can mix it for your friends, you know. Naka. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. Let me pour, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
pour for your friends.
Yeah.
And mix it up and it's like, "Hi, doza." It's like,
Some
"Hi."
places we can you know when they serve naka, the shochu,
Right.
I can say, you know, stop anytime. So I can like almost like get like 90% shochu and only just a little little naka, I mean little soto.
Yeah.
なんか some places is like they doing that for like kind of special service for
Yeah.
they don't measure how much shochu, let us decide how much shochu I want,
That's a good place. That's a good I want to go there.
すごいよね
So we got more comments coming in. Now, Rob Yellen says he's talking here again about the donabe. He says because the interaction with the minerals in the clay, it makes a difference. And yeah, he's right. It's like a, there's a chemical thing going on, man.
なるほどそのやっぱ
Whatever you
土の素材でやっぱ変わってくるみたいですねなるほど
And Paul Morris is here with us from London. Paul.
ポーさん Good evening
Love
じゃない
Paul.
か
He's
もしれない Hello
great,
かな
great guy. He says, hey, folks, a bit late today. Radio 4, that's in England, had a documentary on Charlie Pride.
あれ
I can see where you'd want to see that. A documentary on Charlie Pride. Charlie Pride, Daisuke, maybe you don't know him. He just died like a couple of weeks ago, I think. And he was one of the very, very, very few black country and western singers.
うん
Yeah, he had a long career.
I don't exactly know, but maybe we played one of his songs. かな
Did we? Charlie Pride. What did we do? I don't think the two of us did. I think it was something we were doing together with somebody. They a Charlie Pride song.
そうか
It wasn't just Bennett-Kuroda.
あ OK そうか
But something we did with somebody else. Maybe they did a Charlie Pride song. I think so.
なるほどその方が最近亡くなられてそのイギリスでそのドキュメンタリーが
Yeah. So there was a
Also
documentary
Saturday.
on. Yeah, and you can see why because I mean it's really quite unusual. African American, straight up country singer. The field it wasn't even like half. For example, Ray Charles back in the '60s made a famous record of country songs. And I think in the 60s, he called it New Directions in Country and Western or something like that. And everybody was like, whoa, that's amazing. Wow, Ray Charles is doing Hank Williams songs and that kind of thing. But, of course, Ray did them in a very, soul kind of way.
ああなるほど
Yeah. I mean, because they were great songs. And so he would take a, song like You're Cheating Hard, instead of like, You're Cheating Hard, he was like, You're Cheating Hard, and give it more soul,
なるほど
Make it sound like Ray Charles.
うん
But Charlie Pride was a little different. His style was completely musically, and his vocal style also was quite just country.
なるほど
Yeah.
黒人でその当時完全にカントリーのスタイルで歌ってる人っていうのはすごく珍しかったみたいでレイ・チャールズもそのカントリーのアルバムを出したんだけども結局やっぱりソウルの感じね、のスタイルで、カバーしたみたいな感じで出したみたいだけど、そのさっきコメントでいただいた何でしたっけチャーリーさんでしたっけ
Yeah, Charlie Pride.
チャーリー・プライドさんは、最近亡くなったんだけども、本当にもう黒人なんだけどその当時の、カントリーのスタイルでやってた人ですごい珍しいということですね。
Yeah. And so once again, my daughter chimes in and she's mentioning to Rob Yellen. She says, yes, the minerals in the clay is what makes the magic in the donabe.
なるほど。
And she says, you can taste the difference. And she's right. She's right. So yeah, I mean, it's you if you don't think about it too much, you just kind of think, one pot is the same as another pot. It's mainly the ingredients, But that's not true. Sometimes it makes a huge difference, just the kind of pot you cook something in. Yeah, yeah.
特にさ日本はそのクレイのやつはいっぱいあるじゃん。なんかグラスもあるし、だからsome people すごくなんかスペシャルグラス持ってるよね、クレイのやつで。
They bring their special, they have their special glass.
備前焼きとかさ、なんかスタイルあんのよ、日本はあちこちの、ね。でそれのなんかグラスをこうtheir own favorite でやってたりしますよ。なんかワイングラスも普通のグラスじゃなくてクレイのやつ、備前のやつ使うとか。そう日本酒もちっちゃいグラスじゃなくて備前のやつ使うとかなんかありますね、そういうの。
Well, one thing I've noticed about Japanese glasses, cups, plates, bowls, cooking things, everything is that there's just such a focus on how it feels, how it feels on your lip. There's even what they say, what is it, kuchiyasui or something like that? Just how your miso soup bowl feels in your hand and how and the way it rests on your lip and stuff is important, That's something that you don't really hear that much about in the West, like in Europe or America. I mean, of course, people like a nice glass or a nice teacup, but in Japan, it's almost like,
そうね。
super important,
すご
all
い
that
重
kind
要
of
ですね。
stuff.
はい。
Yeah.
すごい重要です。日本はお皿ってすごい料理に対してお皿とかグラスとかさ、そういうのって、素材とか、形状、あとは、形とか、そういうのすごく重要だよね。高いレストラン行けば行くほど、この料理はこのお皿じゃないとダメとか、
Yeah, right,
ね、
right.
そういうの
Gotta
決
have
ま
the
って
right
ます。
plate for the right, yeah.
そう
Now in Belgium, they have that about the beer. It's like every kind of beer has got to have its own kind of glass.
あ、そうなの？
Yeah, like if you go to you go to any bar or they don't really call them pubs in Belgium, but you go to a cafe or a bar and you order a Duvel or a Quack or
What is it? Duvel.
Duvel is a brand of beer.
そう、ビアのね。
Yeah, beer.
あ、なるほど。
So these are all like brands of beer. So like in Belgium, you get the Duvel glass with the Duvel beer. And
そうなんだ。
yeah,
ベルジャンの
yeah. So it's very important to
ビ
have
ールは
the right glass.
もうビールグラスがもう決まってるやつあるみたいですね。
Absolutely.
でルーラさんがですね、口当たりだって。
Kuchiatari.
口当たり。
That's the
そうだ
word.
ね。
Thank you. My daughter helps me with my Japanese from time to time.
ありがたいね。
Thank you.
どうですか、サムさん、そろそろじゃあもう一曲なんか聞いてもらえますか？
Yeah, let's play another song. Let's play one also from the same show, our recent record release gig from November of 2020, and let's play one called Watch and Chain. This one is a kind of slow one. It's kind of semi-autobiographical, mixed in with a certain fantastical element. It's called Watch and Chain.
はい。
This tune is called Watch and Chain. Saw my daddy stand by the roadside. He was wearing a hat I'd never seen coming to work no more. I left you my old watch and chain hanging by the door. Walk back home, kicking a can along the way. The sounds like the music in my head. Old man passing by said, sound like a funeral. It was then I knew my mama, she was dead. I turned around and headed for the river instead. But don't the seconds pass like a frozen ocean? Don't the decades pass just as fast as lightning? If you find the time, won't you save some for me? Please save some for me. Heard about a land across the ocean where they never need to know the time of day. Well, I won't need no watch and chain in that sweet place. I'm bound to go there and I'm bound to stay. Ain't nobody left right here to stop me waiting. Thank you.
はい。
ほい。
ウォッチェンチェーン、これさ、入ってる？
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that on the record?
あ、入ってます。ウォッチェンチェーン
入ってますでしょ？
入ってます。
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
これ
that's on
は
the
あれ
record.
だね、いろいろライブ、今見てもらったライブでは2人だけど、A lot of me だよね、確か。
Oh, you mean there's a lot of guitar in the
on the track だっけ？
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That
確
track.
か。
Yeah, yeah. There's like tons of your guitar on that track.
そうだよね。
on,
確か
on
に
the CD.
Right.
Well, you took a whole bunch of takes, like, oh, let's do this take, I'll do another take, I'll do another take, I'll do another take. And I was gonna go in there and find the best bits and say, okay, let's use that here and this here and that here. But then I just listened to it all together, more or less, and it all worked. Like, okay, let's have 6 guitar tracks on this thing.
そう。
Yeah, it all worked. And you know, your lines were always different, but they just fit together so well that virtually everything you did, I just kept it.
そうなんです。このレコーディングをしてる時にですね、この「Watch and Chain」っていう曲で、ナイロンギターだっけ？
Was it nylon guitar? I
ナ
guess
イロン
so.
かちょっと I don't remember ナイロンかアコースティックギター anyway
Yeah.
we recorded andなんか I played a lot
Yeah.
でなんか whole take ねnot the parts you know
Yeah,
just
just one take,
one take で
next take.
たくさんやったんですよ。
Yeah, yeah.
で サムが後でいいところをこう使うとかって言ってたから、だから何回かそれで録音一発撮りで何回かやって、で結局サムがここのこれいいね、ここのこれいいねってやったんだけど、同時にそれらを6本ぐらいのトラックを流したらめっちゃいい感じになってたらしくて、結局それがそのまま使われてるっていうのがこの、5曲目のオーチャンチェインですね。今見てもらったのはライブバージョンだからね、2人でやってるけど、すごいアンサンブルのオーケストレーションみたいになってんだよね。
Yeah. No, it sounds like there's like 6 guitar players on the thing, you know.
Right.
The funny thing is that they didn't sound, it didn't sound crowded or kondenai ne. All those tracks even on top of each other, they didn't sound too busy, it didn't sound too crowded. It was all just really beautiful, man. And it wound up all sounding like just kind of water flowing over rocks in a stream. All the notes were just, it was so pretty.
たまたまなんですけど、まあね、多分6個ぐらいトラックが、ギタリストが 6人ぐらい弾いてるようなトラックになってるわけだけども、そんなに忙しくなくて、たまたまなんですが、なんか程よくね、こう流れがちゃんとあって、なんか忙しい感じになってなくてね、いい感じにたまたまなったっていう、奇跡的にミラクルのやつですね、これね。
Yeah. It worked out good.
ぜひ聴いてみてください。Apple Music とか、Spotify とか、まあどこでもありますし。
どこでも、
YouTube ある？ YouTube ある？
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. And also, of course, Bandcamp.
バンドキャンプでサムさんのね、
we're very happy when you go to Bandcamp and listen to it, and especially when you go and buy it.
もちろん。
When you take your actual digital money and send it to us.
もし購入していただけたら助かります。はい。
Yeah. That helps.
まだ在庫多分あるよね。You still have stock, right?
Oh, yeah. We still got stock of the physical CD.
フィジカル CD もまだあります。
はい、Yeah.
限定なのであんまり数作ってないんですが、まだあります。
Yeah.
これらは直接サムさんに連絡を取っていただくか、バンドキャンプの方でオーダーしていただければ、サムさんがポストオフィス行って郵送します。
That's right. I will go to the post office and mail you a CD if you buy it from Bandcamp.
はい。
And of course you can download from Bandcamp too. You can get a digital download.
はい、ダウンロードもありますよ。
It's all there. And yeah.Wow. So let's see, we got a few more comments. Paul says, yes, true with the Belgian beer. We're talking about the glasses. Yeah.
なるほど、そうだね。
はい、yeah, the Belgian beer. And he says he has a glass for delirium tremens, the full name for the DTs. Interesting.
I guess DTs is kind of be a brand.
Well, it would be a funny name for a brand. Delirium tremens, as I understand it, is kind of a you go into a sort of state of craziness or trembling or something, and delirium. You become delirious.
Oh.
Maybe it's actually the name of a brand of beer in Belgium. I suppose delirium tremens. Yeah. But I'm not really clear on exactly what that means, so I feel a little ignorant about that.
Maybe that's kind
like
of
to know.
famous なんかすごい popular beer brand in Belgium, and
possibly.
Then maybe they've got the special glass for that brand or something.
Oh yeah. Well, every brand has their glass for sure. And yeah, Paul Morris says it means the shakes. That's it.
Shakes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It means like you get the shakes.
Oh.
So Paul, I'm just gonna. Oh, it's a brand also. He's way ahead of us. He just said it's a brand also. So, Delirium Tremens. That's a pretty funny name for a beer brand. You got the shakes. I can't stop shaking. Give me another Delirium Tremens.
Wow, 20%? Oh my god.
Oh my god. No, 12 proof. 12% proof.
12%. Yeah.
But 12, that's strong. Yeah. There's another brand that I used to drink when I was living in Belgium. It's called Quack.
Quack.
Yeah, Kwak. quack. And quack would come at the in a super special glass. The quack glass had a round bottom, so you couldn't put it down on a table. It would just fall over,
な
right?
んだそれ
It was like the glass was like a long.
フラスコみたいじゃんフラスコ
Yeah, it looked like some kind of flask, like you see in a laboratory or something, right? Yeah. And so what they had is a special wooden holder. So that you put the glass in, and then it
かっこ
would.
いい
Yeah, and the bottom of the holder is, like a concave, and so you put the glass in, and then you can drink it. The funny thing is, that's super strong too, quack. And the funny thing is that when you get to the end, because it's a very tall glass with that little round bit at the bottom, like a little ball, looks like one of those Japanese bells that you see in the summertime made out of glass. It go like ting, ting, ting.
はいはいはいはいはい
Right? So it's like a glass bowl at the bottom. And to get to the very end of it, you'd have to hold the glass like completely like straight up. And then suddenly the last bit would go like,
yeah.
and fall all the way down into your mouth. And of course, by that time, you're already drunk. I mean,
Yeah.
with just one of those quacks, you're already kind of like, oh, yeah. So it was pretty strange, pretty funny.
へえ
Belgian
面白いね。
beer, man. It's a Belgian beer is a whole culture, man, for sure.
面白い
Yeah.
なんかそのグラスがそのブランドによっていろんなデザインのグラスがあるみたいで、でサミさんが今紹介してたのは、クワックっていうやつの、グラスはもうフラスコみたいに、下が丸いんで木のちゃんとそれをちゃんと支える置いとく台が別で用意されてるようなグラスみたいですね。ビールグラスね。変わってるよね。
Yeah, crazy, man.
ね。
And I got to say, I love hearing these translations from you of what I've just said in Japanese. It really helps me, remember. I don't use a lot of Japanese on the show because my Japanese isn't that great, but it's always rewarding to me when I hear you translate and I'm going, oh yeah, okay, I know exactly what he's saying. I understand that. I should have been able to say that.
あれルーラさん
Lula-san.
Delirium
Tremens.
新鮮線も
Shinsen-sen-mo.
かな最後の漢字がちょっとこれもうかななんだろう
Mo kana? Wakanai.
なんだろ
I can read Shinsen-sen,
う、
but the kanji, I don't know.
漢字もうって読む漢字かもしれないこれ難しいな、なんだろうねこれね
And then let's see, Lula writes again, and she gives another comment, which is actually
チャイニーズキャラクターだね
by Mrs. Sam. Mrs. Sam.
あ
In other words, my wife wrote that
そうだ
comment.
ね
So what does that say?
それは漢字ですチャイニーズキャラクターは
Yeah, yeah.
Right this way だね
Ah, okay.
でも I don't get it なんかわからないなんだろうこれ
Well, that's typical Japanese.
これ難しいねちょっとこれすごい
It's
難しい
just
です
a hard damn
うん
language.
これ難しいですこれわかんない
Yeah, yeah.
でも見てる人はこれあーってなんのかなちょっと私はそんなこれちょっとわかんないですね初めて聞く名前かもしれない
Delirium tremens. The shakes. Shake. So anyway, cooking. Back to cooking.
はい今日はねクッキング料理の話で
I have one more
はい
one more thing to show you.
まだあるの
Yeah, man.
アイテム
Yeah, one more
何
item.
何
Okay, this item has more than anything else revolutionized the cooking in our household.
もう革命的なア
Yeah.
イテムでございますと
Yeah.
さっきから
It's-
言ってますけど全部に対してはい
We
何ですか
we love it so much that we actually have two of them. This is the smaller one.
なるほどもうお気に入りすぎて2つ持ってるんだけどこれはちっちゃいやつを紹介しますと
これ Cha-da!
鍋ですかそれは。
鍋。Basically, this is a rice cooker, but it is not just a rice cooker. It makes fantastic rice, but it's not just a rice cooker. It's great for cooking almost anything.
Almost anything.
Yeah, soup,
スープとか
stew,
シチューとか
red sauce,
トマトソースも
chili,
チリもできます。
all sorts of Japanese dishes like your basic sort of daikon.
ああ、なるほど。大根煮たりとかね。
Yeah, simmered daikon and stuff. This thing is just unbelievable. So it's as you can see, it's an electric cooker. You know what I mean? That's the cooker. But
基本的には米を炊くものだけども、他にもいろんな調理法があるらしい。
yeah. But I'm going to take the pot out now and show you the pot.
なんか見たことないな、それ。何
So the pot again is basically a kind of
ダッチオーブン。
type of cast iron pot like a Dutch oven. Now, if you can actually use this as a Dutch oven.
ダッチオーブンとしても使えるみたい。
Yeah.
やっ
Now
ぱ
this
そうい
is
う作りしてるね。
and this is made in Japan.
日本製です。
Yeah. What's really special about this pot is that the seal of the lid to the pot is just
この天井の部分っていうかその蓋の、なんていうか裏側ね天井になる部分が、デザインが特別らしい。
Yeah, the seal is just so good and so tight that when you cook in this, you almost don't need to add any water because
なるほど。その密着具合がすごいんだ。なるほど。その蓋と鍋のもう、
yeah.
で別に水とか入れなくてもそのなんか素材の水分でなんかクックできるみたいな感じかな。
Exactly. So like yeah, you say chop up 2 onions and 2 potatoes and 2 carrots and some celery and whatever and throw it in there with just like tiny bit of water.
もうほんのちょっとの水入れるぐらいでいいみたい。
Yeah. And let it cook for 20, 30 minutes, 40, maybe 40 minutes, whatever you're doing. And you open it up and it's just, you can't believe how much water has come out of the vegetables.
なるほど。野菜からすごい水分が出てくるみたい。
Yeah.
それだけこう密閉してるからなんだね。へー。
And then you realize when you cook with a pot like this, you realize how much water you're actually losing from from the vegetables when you cook in a more ordinary pot. Even when it's covered. You know what I mean?
そうだね。
So yeah, it's pretty amazing, man. I gotta say, it's pretty amazing.
それさどれぐらいその例えば20 minutes とか30 minutes とかクックするじゃん。how strong, how much fire だね。ちょっと my question is.
Well, we don't cook it on fire. We use the cooker. So
そっか、クッカーがもう
It's
セ
the
ットアップしてるんだ。
yeah, it's an electric cooker which is made to go with the pot.
なるほど。
And that's also really handy because I mean, I like to cook on fire for a lot of things. It's great to use real fire, and I've always been a big fan of cooking on a flame. But it's not really necessary with this thing because the cooker and the pot are so completely well designed to go together.
なるほ
You
ど。
know what I mean? And so there's just like there's basically low, medium, and high
はいはいは
about heat.
い。なるほど。
And it's really handy because you can throw stuff in and then, leave. If you're cooking on fire, you can't really leave,
Right.
But
so let's say I want to put it in onion, carrot, and potato maybe. Then そのローとミッドとハイはどうします？
well, what we usually do is, let's say you start out with some onions. Throw some onions in on a high heat for like because the high heat is actually really quite high, and it'll burn pretty quick if you leave it for too long. So put it on the high heat to get it started. Maybe just like you might do if you're cooking on a flame, and just for 2 or 3 minutes, and then maybe just add everything else. Like for example, if it's carrots and potatoes, just add them, cover it, forget about it, and maybe move it down to the medium.
で、20 minutes とか30 minutes とか
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes depending on what you're doing.
へえ
And you might also at a certain point, maybe after 10 or 15 minutes, you want to put it down on low. That's all,
ああなるほど
And at that point, you've got instant sort of food, and maybe you want to make a curry out of it, so then you do what you usually do for curry, or chili, or. So when I cook with this, I do a lot of things like one pot kind of cooking, like curry, or chili,
なるほど
or red sauce. That's kind of mostly my style of cooking.
なるほどもうまずベーシックな野菜をさっきのね、鍋っていうか機械を使って、ベーシックな野菜とかそういうの素材のやつをやったらもうその鍋のまんまチリとかトマトソースとかカレーとか作るのがサムさんスタイルらしい。
Yeah.
なるほど。
So yeah, we got this small one for for cooking rice. And actually I think we got a bigger one first, and then we were like, it was like, well, this thing cooks almost any kind of food so well that we should get another one, a smaller one, just for rice.
なるほど。
Because you want to cook rice and then you want something with it,
でもいいね。
Like
なんか
we have two of these things,
なんかit has なんかmy kitchen is like electric one, and
Yeah.
I have 2 places.
Yeah.
But sometimes I want to make another なんかね
Yeah, a third dish, something.
そう
right?
そうそうだからいいよね。なん
You
か
got to get this. You got to get this. It's the same with our house. I mean, we have 2 burners on our little Japanese stove. Our typical Japanese stove's got only 2 burners and the fish grill. So this thing you put it on the counter, and you cook it anywhere. Yeah.
ねそれでさなんていうかスープ的なものとかカレーみたいなやつとかっていうのはそれだけで作れるのはね他の場所でそしたらなんか他のクックできるじゃん。
Exactly.
ねいいよね。
Yeah. So this is almost going to sound like a commercial for this thing, but it's I guess it kind of is a commercial for this thing, and they should give me one now for free. But like, I'll show you the brand name, right? Hang on.
ちょっと何のブランドか教えてくださいそれ。
It's a very strange name. It's called Vermicular.
Vermicular.
Made in Japan. So if you go on the internet and look up vermicular pot or whatever, vermicular cooker, you're going to find it. And they've got a really fancy website, and I guess they've been selling them, in America too, and everything, in Europe.
高いですか？
高いよ。
高いのか。
超高い。
超高いんだ。
めちゃくちゃ高いよ。
マジで？
Yeah. It's you really got to be kind of serious about cooking to spend the money that they ask for these things. I'm not even going to tell you. Just go to the website and look at it. And if you see it and you go like, "Oh my God, they've got to be joking. I would never pay that much." The thing is though, it's really worth it.
すごい高いけど、その価値はあるよと。
Yeah, well, we think about it, man. It's, in life, what's more important than cooking? Cooking is almost like really one of the most important things, I think.
そうね。
Right?
毎日食べるものだし、
Yeah, man.
ねなんかコンビニもあるけども、やっぱ自分でなんか料理して、工夫して美味しいもの食べるっていうのは楽しいよね。
Yeah. And I don't know. I can't say how long the electric cooker will last. I mean, it's electric, but it's made super well in Japan. And I'm a little, me and my wife both, we're sort of snobs about made in Japan. Because usually stuff that's made in Japan is effing good. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just that kind of country. People do things right. And anyway, the cooker, it comes with a good warranty, I think. But the thing is also the pot. Now, the pot is another one of these pots that will last you for your whole life. Not for 2 years, not for 5 years, not for 10 years. It was like a cast iron fry pan or something, or that Dutch oven that I showed you. It'll last your whole life, and you probably give it to your children, and it'll last their life, you know. So that's, you know, you get what you pay for, as they say. You get what you pay for.
興味あるな、それは。
美味しいよ。
興味あるね。
It's a great pot, man. Well, you know, you had my couscous that time. I made the sauce in that pot.
はい。
Yeah.
クスクスをね、いただいた、
sauce, yeah.
サムさんちでいただいたときに、それで作ったんだ、レッドソースは。
That's right. Yeah, I made that red sauce in the.
ね、すごく野菜の素材の味が出てたんですよ。野菜の味がいっぱいこう。
でしょ？
そう出てたの。で自分のスタイルはまあなんていうかI add a lot of garlic とか ginger とか、でまあトマトのやつやって、オニオンがあってっていう感じで、なんだろうななんかquite different ね。I tried your red sauce. なんか more organic, you know, vegetable itself, the flavor in it.
Well, yeah, I think it's really because of the cooker. Because, like I said, if you keep that much of the vegetables' natural juices, if you keep them in there and they don't just escape, you get actual more flavor of the vegetable. You know what I mean? It's just there. I mean, you know, the piman really tastes like a piman, man. And the carrot really tastes like a carrot, you know.
すごい野菜が美味しかったな。
美味しいでしょ。
Have you tried? クスクスね、ハマってて、それ以来。で、I made the other day I made my tomato sauce, tomato base. With cream cheese. So I make tomato cream pasta a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I made that sauce with couscous, right?
How'd that go? Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. 美味しかった、すごく。
Yeah,
トマトクリームクスクスです。
That sounds good, man. Yeah, couscous is really flexible, man. I mean, it's like a kind of it's like rice or it's like pasta. It's just it's a basic staple that you can put something on. And it doesn't
す
have
ご
to
く
be.
ね、ハマってる。すごく気に入ってます、クスクス。なんか、sometimes I want to eat rice, sometimes I want to eat pasta, but
Yeah.
couscous is somewhere middle.
Exactly. It's like half rice, half pasta. It's true. It's like in between.
そうだから、
You know.
そう楽しいね、料理が今。クスクスをなんか and it's so easy, so convenient, like you know,
Absolutely.
なんか just hot
Super
water
quick,
でし
man.
ょ。
Super quick. It's like the instant couscous, you know. It's so quick.
すごいだから楽しい。
And you know, it's not terribly expensive either. I mean, those boxes of couscous that we buy in like Seijo Ishii or something, they're like about 500 or 550 yen. You know, and you're gonna easily get like 2 meals out of that. You know, so it's like 250 yen, $2.50. You know, it's not bad.
すごい増えるからね。なんていうか、そうかはでしょ。だから。ね、なんか
Yeah, it expands.
なんか only 100 more. I don't think I can eat by myself. なんか100 gram とか too much. Actually.
Yeah. It's quite filling. Hey, speaking of staples and grains and stuff, I want to take this opportunity to thank your dad, Daisuke.
ああ、うちの
大輔のお父さ
お父さ
んの
んの
米。
ライスね。
あ
はい。
りがとうございます。美味しいよ。
美味しい？
美味しいよ。
違う感じする？ど
なんか違う感じ。わかんないけ
う？
ど。
わかんないよね。
It's good rice. It's good rice. It's good solid rice, and
そうだね。
we're really enjoying it. So if your dad is watching,
はい。
thanks 黒田さん。
はい、前回のライブ配信で
ありがとうございます
サムさんが米が欲しいということで、うちの父親が米を送りました。まあうちは農家じゃないんだけど、米は豊富なので、それでねサムさんに米を送って、エンジョイしてもらっている感じですね。いやおいしいと思いますよ。うちの米は美味しいと思います。はい。まあ多分ただのコシヒカリだとは思うけども、多分ねその流通してるあれじゃないんで、ディストリビュートのジャパニーズディストリビュートライスウェイは kind of complicated the role とかシステムが。
I guess so. Yeah.
なんか they have to mix it somehow. なんか one farmer makes this brand and the same brand another farmers make.And in that area,
and they mix the area's rice.
そうなんか JA のシステムとかなんか I don't even know.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So my one is like just this feels
that field. Yeah.
のやつだからit's a famous brand anyway, but not different farmers のやつなんか only one farmer が only one land で作ったやつだから。
That's interesting, man.
ちょっと違うのよ。
I never really thought about that, but it makes sense because most farmers are farming relatively small piece of land, right? I mean, mostly it's still relatively small rice paddy. Well, what do you call a rice paddy? What is it? I forgot in Japanese.
田んぼ？
A tambo. Yeah. So, the tombos they're small and the farms are small. But then, you go to the grocery store and you get a 10-kilo bag of rice it says from this region. So that makes perfect sense, man. It's not necessarily all coming from one tambo, right? It's like that whole area is harvesting the rice and then they mix it and sell it.
そうなんか新潟産とかあるでしょ。from 新潟とかなんか山形とかなんかね。
Sure. 茨城 wherever it is, man.
そう。その JA が they なんか
We should explain JA is short for what? Japan Agriculture?
I don't know なんかファーマーのなんかユニオンだよね basically.
I think it means Japan Agriculture probably. Yeah. そっか。That's really interesting, man.
でも詳しくわかんないよ。けど、多分そんな感じだと思う。
So, okay, we got Paul Morris, the beer there. I'd forgot about their pink elephant logo.
へえ。
そうなんだ。Interesting. And let's see, we got some comments in Japanese from my daughter. What is she saying to us?
アルコールによる震えを伴う精神錯乱状態です。なるほど。
I have no idea what that means.
なんていうかこのシェイキンのやつね。
Yeah.
それがこうバイアルコールでこう。
Okay. Getting the shakes from alcohol, from too much alcohol. Yeah.
そうなんだ。
I guess that's a problem that'll a lot of really hardcore alcoholics
そうね。
have. You're really seriously alcoholic, shaking, Fortunately, Daisuke, we're not there yet. We're still
fine.
We're still able to not shake.
大丈夫です。
You see, look, I'm okay.
いや OK じゃないじゃん全然それ。
I'm not shaking.
全然もう来てるじゃん。来てますけど。
いや
で、Paul Morris さん、the beer there, I forgot about, so you read that.
Yeah, yeah. But he also says really bad DTs, delirium tremens, or the shakes can apparently give hallucinations.
お
So
幻
that's
覚症状もその出てくるって。
yeah, yeah. So she says, so that's the joke, and the joke would be the pink elephant on the label, right? It's their logo. And that's interesting. That's an interesting thing, the pink elephant. I remember that from when I was a kid. There would always the idea of a that you would see a pink elephant when you were really drunk is some kind of idea. Although, what the hell? Whoever actually, I mean, drinking isn't even like that. You don't see pink elephants.
そうね。
I mean, maybe on some other drugs, but not alcohol.
そうだね。
I could never understand that. But that's an old-fashioned kind of thing. I remember when I was a kid, like there'd be like a napkin or something in a cocktail bar or something, and it would have like a pink and drunk people in cartoons would be like this, and they'd see a pink elephant. They go, it's just a pink elephant,
なんか昔からその酔っ払って、ピンク色の像が見えるっていうのがなんか昔からそういうのは話ではあるらしいです。実際には見えることはないしね、そのどんだけアルコール飲んだってね。
Very strange.
でもそういうのはすごい有名らしい。
そう。
ピンクの像ね。
ピンク色像。
ね。
Very strange.
ルーラさんがごちそうさまですと、コシヒカリとても艶があって甘くて大変美味しいですと。はい、ありがとうございます。よかったです。はい。
ありがとうね。
はい、
本当に。
よかった。
大輔さんのお父さん、ありがとうございました。本当にありがとうございます。
よかったです。はい。
So kind. So kind.
よかった。なんかおせんべいそんで送ったって言ってたけど。
そう。We sent him some osenbei because, of course, he sent us some rice. We have to return something. We sent some nice osenbei.
ありがとうございます。
Now, for our viewers out there, osenbei. Let's tell them, Daisuke, what is osenbei?
おせんべいはね、ライスをスマッシュして
ライスをスマッシュして
で、burn した
burn!
You
take rice, you smash it, you burn it, and then you got osenbei.
そう、solid cookie だね。
そう。
soy sauce type の flavor で。
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So osenbei, now rice. Yeah, pretty good. Rice crackers, basically.
そうか。
Yeah.
ライスクラッカーですね。
Pounded.
クラッカーだね。
Yeah, it's like a cracker. Yeah. If you say cookie, people think it's something sweet.
あ、そっか。
Yeah, so cracker. It's usually, like you say, has a soy sauce flavor, shoyu flavor. Sometimes they wrap a piece of nori.
あ、海苔もありますね。
I love that. Almost all foreigners, when they come to Japan, they very quickly discover osenbei. And everybody loves osenbei. I never met any foreigner in Japan who said, I don't like osenbei. I think everybody likes osenbei.
おせんべいは。
Yeah. Everybody likes it. I loved it. When I first came here, man, and discovered osenbei and other flavors, like new flavors like shiso.
しそね。いいね。しそいいね。
Yeah. And umeboshi. So many wonderful Japanese flavors.
そうね。
So, we've been having a really nice show here talking about cooking. I've been really enjoying it. But I think it's maybe about time to go to our last video. What do you think, Daisuke?
じゃあこのラストビデオで今日はここまでっていうことにしようかな。Say good night.
Yeah.
ね。I think.
Let's say good night. We're going to leave you with one more video. And this is again from the same show.
はい。
At What the Dickens.
はい。これも2020年11月の、リリースライブ からのライブ映像で今日はお別れしたいと思います。
そうですね。
曲は何ですか？
曲は、Bigger Fish to
Fry。Bigger Fish to Fry でご
Fry。So
ざ
I
います。
guess that's an appropriate song to end our special cooking show。
特にクッキングには本当は関係ないけどまあ
本当は
関係ないけどビガーフィッシュフライという曲でお別れしたいと思います。また来週火曜日8時に、お待ちしております。一緒に飲みましょうという感じで。では皆さん今日はありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。Bigger fish to fry。
Exactly what